Season 5 of Fargo has been tense and conceptually rich so far, but launching this episode with the kind of boom that other shows save for the conclusion signals Noah Hawley and his team are nowhere close to exhausting Season 5's potential. Fargo Season 5 Episode 4, titled Insolubilia, is filled with surprising character disclosures and key narrative twists, such as Deputy Indira Olmstead's relationship to Lorraine Lyon and the unexplained fate of Sheriff Roy Tillman's second missing wife. Last week's cliffhanger ended with Tillman's faithful son Gator and his gang finding Dot's suburban home late on Halloween night and creeping up to the front door. The action-packed beginning of Insolubilia did not disappoint, as it proceeded to display all of Dot's excellent talents that she has been hiding in her double life as a polite housewife. The raid on Dot's house by Gator and his team has left her with a lot more to explain to the authorities and her merciless, cold-hearted mother-in-law, including a critical injury to her new husband, Wayne, who still has no idea what's going on. Olmunch is taking his time exacting vengeance on the Tillmans, placing threats at their house to create tension before striking. Agents Mayer and Joaquin's return has supplied an enormous amount of information regarding Tillman's cult-like group and their investigation into his law-breaking law enforcement organization. Fargo Season 5, Episode 4 is an exciting episode packed with significant surprises. In Insolubilia, Tillman's soldiers come to Dot's home to abduct her, and she manages to escape capture once more. Most of them are killed by the booby traps she placed around the house. Gator escapes, and the final surviving guy is stuck behind the attic stairway, where Dot knocks him out with the toilet tank lid from the bathroom. It doesn't seem to matter how many thugs Sheriff Tillman dispatches to get Dot, she won't go without a fight, and she always wins. This moment displays Dot and Gator's familiarity. Gator alternates between calling her Nadine, her true name, and Mama. Wayne has progressively realized during the season that his wife isn't who she claims to be. In Episode 4, a group of armed intruders breaks into the house and refers to Dot as Nadine before she beats the thugs to death and sends their leader fleeing. Dot's booby traps prove deadly against the bad guys. But there's some friendly fire as well, as Wayne is electrocuted and hospitalized by one of Dot's traps. Dot tries to persuade Wayne that he's hallucinating when he calls her Nadine in the hospital. Wayne's electrocution at the window ignites a fire that burns down Dot's house. This is yet another weird event that Dot must explain to Lorraine and the cops, much like the electrocution itself. Dot continues to argue that it was bad wiring that caused Wayne's shock and the subsequent house fire. But the cops and Lorraine aren't buying it. Indira notes that the fire service is putting out the fire and will perform a thorough investigation to determine how the fire originated, implying that Dot's deceptions and lies will begin to unravel shortly. Against Lorraine's wishes, Indira is continuing her inquiry into Dot's kidnapping alongside Whit Farr, the state trooper whose life was saved by Dot during the standoff with the kidnappers at the gas station. Midway through the episode, when Indira gets into her car, she receives a call from Lorraine's cruel debt collection firm, reminding her that she owes them $2,671.43. She borrowed the money to pay medical fees for her husband Lars, who had degloved his ring finger a few months before. Lorraine would very certainly exploit this debt, as well as her capacity to adjust the interest rate at any time, to put Indira under pressure to drop the case. Agents Mayer and Joaquin return in Episode 4 to inform their boss at the FBI about what they've discovered about Sheriff Tillman. They're hoping to acquire consent for a deeper investigation so that they may send additional agents to Tillman's town and bring him to justice, but their supervisor is hesitant to give them that permission. During this talk, the agents note how individuals seem to disappear all the time around Tillman. They detail some of the killings Tillman has covered up before claiming that 2 of his wives have also gone missing. Dot is obviously one of those spouses, but who is the other? The FBI's investigation into Tillman has revealed a bunch of missing firearms and military gear from the inventory. They suspect Tillman took the guns and equipment to arm his own militia. When agents Mayer and Joaquin convey this to their boss, he advises them to calm down and leave Tillman alone since they don't want to incite the militia and start a conflict with them. It must be quite a militia if the FBI is afraid of them. The existence of this militia confirms the assumption that Tillman is a cult leader. Agents Mayer and Joaquin report that they know where one of Tillman's missing wives, Nadine, is hiding after speaking with their incompetent supervisor and being instructed to stop going after Tillman. They've found her hidden in plain sight as Dorothy Lyon, and they have her address in Scandia, Minnesota. They're in for a surprise when they travel down to Scandia, arrive at the address, and discover the house has been burned to the ground. The agents already have a lot of questions for Dot, but they'll have much more when they find her house in ashes.